Are you currently going through a season of discouragement and disappointment that has perhaps brought your spirit down? Are you tired of staying in that state and you're looking for tips and ideas that can help you get back on your feet, feeling empowered and encouraged? Or if that is you, first off, I empathize with you, and you know what? I have you covered, because in this video, I'll be sharing with you some tips and ideas on how you can deal with and navigate the season of discouragement. One thing that I just want to share first off is that everyone goes through a season of discouragement. Like, life hits every single person. And the fact that you're going through discouragement doesn't mean that you're weak. It just simply means that you are human. I know for me that this year started off very challenging for me, and I've had to go through a number of down times, and I still have my own discouragement seasons as well. I am just doing a lot of things. Just recently launched a YouTube channel, trying to make some headway in a new business that I launched, and there've just been a whole number of areas where things are just not working and happening. Things are not just working and happening the way that I expected. And as you would imagine, it's brought a lot of discouragement as well. But thankfully, there are a number of ideas and techniques that I continue to apply to help me navigate this season of discouragement so that I can continue to show up in the different areas of my life and also show up for people that I've been called to serve. For example, you who are watching this video. And so what I'm just gonna be doing next is share with you 4 tips and ideas that I currently apply to help me with navigating the season of discouragement. And I believe that they can also benefit you. So it's worth trying as well. So number 1 is to recall your past successes and victories. The one thing about discouragement is that when we're going through those down seasons, it's really very easy for us to lose our sense of self-confidence, and we begin to feel that we are not good enough, that we're not smart enough, and that's why those things that we are working to achieve haven't happened yet. And obviously, this can literally put us in a very demoralized state. But one way to break through and break away from that state is to go back and revisit your highlight reels of your successes and victories of the past. It's more or less like the way you would view your reels on IG or Facebook. And this can be in the form of an image or videos or maybe a journal where you detailed those past victories. Maybe it was a time when you won an award at your office, or a time when you hit a major milestone in your business. Whatever it is that may be the highlight reel, just looking through the past victories and successes help you feel more confident, and they get you to see that you are indeed capable of making great things happen, because again, you did it in the past and you can still do it again. That would help boost your level of confidence and get you to feel more encouraged and empowered as well. Number 2 is to encourage and celebrate yourself. The truth of the matter is there are going to be times in our lives when we're feeling discouraged and disappointed, and people are not going to be there for us to encourage and to empower us. But the truth of the matter is that everybody else is going through stuff. So it's going to be unfair for us to always expect someone else to encourage and to empower us. And in those times when nobody is going to be available, then we have to stand up and do it for ourselves. And a number of ways by which we can go ahead to encourage and to celebrate yourself. One of them is using the power of positive affirmations or incantations. Just something as simple as going to stand in front of a mirror and you just speak empowering words over yourself. For example, I'm too blessed to be stressed, or I'm blessed and I'm blessed beyond measure, or saying good things are going to happen to me and through me, and my best days are yet to come. There's no way you're going to speak these words over yourself and still feel discouraged or disempowered. Saying this to yourself will definitely help you feel empowered and much more encouraged, switching you to a peak state as well. Another thing to do or to consider would be to read a letter written by your future self. Let me explain what this one is, because it really has been very, very powerful in my life. So what this means literally is, in your empowered and peak state, you consider writing a letter from your future self. In other words, thinking 1 year down the line. Imagine all of those goals that you would like to achieve. And just imagine that those goals were already achieved, say at the end of the year. This is 2023. So imagine that by end of the year, 31st December 2023, you already have a list of goals that you would like to have achieved. And then imagine that your future self at that time is writing a letter to your present self, describing how awesome and lovely and amazing it feels to be living in those goals. Maybe it's a dream car you would like to have at the time, or a dream house, or a relationship that you like to get into. Just imagine your future self writing the letter of how lovely and amazing it is. It feels like living in that time. And after you've written the letter, especially when you're feeling discouraged, you come back when you're feeling discouraged and begin reading the letter to yourself. Honestly, doing this alone would help you feel not just confident, but to help you also feel empowered and hopeful. Because in that way, you're literally going to see that those things that you're looking forward to, those things that are causing you to feel discouraged, you can see that they're already in your life. You're experiencing the same effects and emotions as though they were already in your life. And there's no way you're going to have that experience and still feel discouraged. The brain and the subconscious, doesn't know the difference between reality and what is ambition. And that's why you can begin feeling those same experiences as though those things are already in your life. The third thing is to go ahead to encourage somebody else. This one may seem counterintuitive, obviously. But have you realized that when you feel discouraged and downcast, there's a very, very huge tendency for you to think that you're the only one who is in that state. And for that reason, you will jump into and enter a pity party where you're singing woe and woe to yourself. And that only just worsens the case. But in a case like that, when you go ahead to reach out to a loved one or a friend, to not just check on them, but to try to find out what exactly is going on in their life. And in a number of cases, you'll be surprised and amazed to learn that they are going through maybe even worse situations than you. And in those situations, when you go ahead to offer encouragement to them, you're literally going to be switching focus from yourself to them, and that's going to make you feel just amazing about yourself. You feel encouraged and empowered as well. This one has been a very big life changer for me. I remember this one quote that says, when you give what you want, it will come back to you in truckload. And this is exactly what happens when you go ahead to encourage somebody else, especially when you are feeling discouraged. It's amazing. Just give it a try and see. And the fourth, the last but not the least, is to remind yourself of God's faithfulness. Let me ask you a very quick question. Think about 1 year ago, 5 years ago, or 10 years ago, and far back. How many times has God disappointed you? If you're honest, the answer perhaps would be 0. And then the next question is, if he hasn't disappointed you or failed you in the past, why do you think he would have brought you this far to disappoint and to fail you? The fact that things are not happening the way we expected or we planned doesn't necessarily mean that God is suddenly now fighting against us or he has turned his back at us. The truth of the matter is, if he did it before for us back then, he can still do it again for us now, because he's the same God, same yesterday, today, and forever. And though his ways and his timetable may be different than ours, and it may be taking longer for us to see the manifestation of his promises, but perhaps the longer it's taking, the more glorious and the much more amazing it is going to be. And so it's high time for us to just stick to God's promises and just believe that it's going to happen, because indeed God has great plans for you and me. So those are the points that I wanted to share with you. Perhaps you can consider trying 1 or 2 or more of them and seeing how it works for you. Also, I would like to hear from you. What are some of those tips or the ideas that you apply to help you deal and navigate the season of discouragement? I would definitely love to also hear from you as well. Thanks so much for watching. It's been Franklin here. And obviously don't forget that you are more than enough, you are worthy, you are deserving, and you are loved. I hope this encourages you, and I hope you're able to spring back up on your feet so you can go ahead to walk in the victory that God has for you. Thanks for watching again. Franklin here. God bless and peace.